Come into Bittinger Stadium, one of the best rivalries in all of college sports. Indiana taking on Purdue here in West Lafayette on Big Ten Plus. Already some energy starting to filter throughout the crowd as both sides trying to fire up their home fans as we welcome you into the press box. Here comes the 2-2. That one is hit, and it's going to drop for a base hit. So one batter, one hit for the Hoosiers. And Copeland has a nice start to her day.
Yeah, it has to feel good for Copeland, who was 0 for 5 yesterday at the plate when leading off, and feels good to lead off today with a single. Definitely the power to get up and get out of here.
1-0, and she's hit. So a rough go for Gossett here through the first 10 pitches or so. 6 RBIs and double-digit home runs. And she puts that one in the air. And caught by Banks. And no one advances, so Boilermakers get their first out.
Line that may or may not have been in fair territory, but what you don't want to do here on the 3-2 is walk the batter and load the bases.
And she does. So the Hoosiers load the bases here on the top of the first. And another lefty batter for the Hoosiers here. That's 4 of the first 5. And this one popped up, caught by Scamardo. And a perfect at-bat for Julia.
The Purdue Boilermakers made the change in Gossett now on Saturday, so she got to see this lineup all day yesterday and watch how she was going to attack them.
Swing and a miss. Gossett evades disaster, and the Hoosiers leave the bases stranded. A strikeout. Ahead of this count, 3-1. And they walk her. So a 5-pitch walk. Janae Berry. Polar sends this one to the outfield, and it's caught. A nice play there by the second baseman, Van Brandt. She was backpedaling for Bailey. 235 average. Swings and misses there, and Banks tries to steal. She gets in there in time. Not a great. See Bailey hitting 222 with runners in scoring position. But she cuts and misses there. First strikeout of the day for Berry. 4. And Gossett smacks that one right center field. It is off the wall. 1 run's gonna score. Gossett with a stand-up double. And right on cue, the Boilermakers take a 1-0 lead off a double from Julia Gossett. Full count here. Here comes the payoff pitch. And strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Janae Berry, but the damage was done. Purdue striking first. They lead this one 1-0. You're watching Big Ten Plus. Bird sends this one up the middle. And 2 singles to start off the inning for the Hoosiers. Off to a fast start, just like we saw in the first. Cooper lays down the bunt. Scamardo, easy throw on to first. But a good job there by Alex Cooper to advance the runners. A perfectly placed bunt.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot more of that.
Copeland sends this one to the outfield. Caught by Campbell. And the runners hold.
Yeah, and that's a great pitch there by Julia Gossett team to leave that many runners on base back-to-back innings.
Swing and a miss. Gossett strikes out Minnick to end the inning and gets out of another jam. The fans are on their feet. And
West Lafayette, Boilermakers softball struggling previous to her coming here.
Reef rips that one into left field. Gets aboard with a single. There was some. Here comes the 2-2. Scamardo lines this one into right. Another single for the Boilermakers. That one right over the heart of the plate, and Scamardo rips it to the outfield again.
In here today in game 2 and are allowing themselves to see more pitches at the plate.
A quick little bunt to advance the runners, just like we saw from IU back in the second. Really a carbon copy half inning for both of these teams, but now Purdue has second and third. See if they can. Campbell, this one off the glove. Throw on to first in time, but a run is going to score. As that's Reef who touches home plate. So an RBI ground out for the shortstop Campbell, and Purdue doubles their lead. Banks walked her first time up back in the first. And she walks her second time up here in the second. So runners on the corners for Mariah Poehler.
And this is a great opportunity, too, because you're going to...
Opportunity for Purdue. They're not letting Indiana get in any sort of a rhythm inside the circle, and Banks really just jogging to second base. You called it, Craig. The steal was coming, and once again, the Hoosiers not ready for it.
Well, it's a setup.
Poehler on the ground. Tough play for the third baseman. It's in time. Poehler grounding out to end the inning, but Purdue adds another run. They lead this one 2-0.
Program record for most strikeouts in a game at 14 earlier on here this season.
This one lined into left field. Once again, the Hoosiers getting a base runner on early. This one dropped down. Scamardo very quick to get the out. We've seen this a couple of times. Scamardo, the third, both sides. We talked about the stakes of this game, and neither of these head coaches wanting to make a mistake. As there's a quick walk there on Van Brandt. So two runners on once again.
These kids grow up playing against each other in high school and travel ball teams.
The payoff pitch is popped up. Reef gets under it for another pop out. Second out of the half inning.
And again, Indiana letting Purdue off the hook there again.
This one right on a line to Campbell to end the inning. Make that 7 now. Left on base for Indiana. 3.
As we said, Maggie Frizzotti in the middle of her second season. Building a new brand here for the Purdue Boilermakers in West Lafayette. New talent, new energy, and the future of the Purdue Boilermakers seemingly is already here.
Big Ten obviously so competitive.
We haven't talked about the rankings yet. We take another look at this one. Looks like there's a discussion about whether the ball hit Bailey coming out of the box or not. Not quite sure if I see it, but we'll have to see if the umpires make the decision. But again, in softball and again, seemingly any sport that you're thinking about playing, Big Ten is really setting themselves apart.
Right. I mean, you don't even have to. Last pitch there by Hess. Called strike for a 2-2 count. Here it comes. Gossett, swing and a miss. Big strikeout there by Hess. She sits down Gossett, and there's 2 away here in the third.
A momentum first 2 innings.
This one kind of slapped and caught. So a very, very quick inning for Taylor Hess and the IU Hoosiers. We go to the top of the fourth. Purdue.
That one out, but.
Bird pops this one way up into the air. Second baseman under it for the first out.
Yeah, gonna put a couple of runners on early on. Haven't seen anybody here in the fourth.
Swing and a miss. Alex Cooper goes down swinging. Third strikeout of the day for Julie. Back in the second. Copeland swinging, and she sends a rocket, but Ramos dives and makes another electric catch to end the inning. Copeland is stunned. These fans are on their feet.
Laying out, making the grab, and you saw it as she was coming to the ball. Get that here in this season and hoping to make another deep tournament run.
Reef gets under that one. All the way to the warning track, and Wilkeson gets underneath it. Once again,
Hero on the board. We'll see if she can do another.
Scamardo grounds it right to Bird for the second out.
And that's something that we've seen here with Hess coming into the game, as Hess is
today really sure-handed. They made a lot of tough plays look pretty easy. This one poked into right field, and another nice backhanded grab by the second baseman, Van Brandt. Had to run all the way to right field to get that one, but inning over, another 0 on the board for Purdue.
Yesterday, carrying her team, making plays out and left at the dish with the home run, and Hoosiers need something here.
Minnick slices this one. Polar gets under it. Good contact by Minnick, but sometimes that goes, it seems. Here it comes up the middle, right back to Gossett. Heads up play by the pitcher. The sophomore has made all sorts of plays today.
Yeah, and Indiana.
At bat recorded. One of the few seniors in this starting lineup. She grounds this one up the middle, out of reach for Meeks, and a 2-out single for Mitchell. Meeks a little slow to get up. Purdue wearing their black pinstripes. IU in the white. This one sliced into left field. Polar gets under it. And another sweat-free inning for Julia Gossett. 5 scoreless now. Is just really, really there for Purdue, which is pretty rare to see. Swing and a miss. Campbell goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Taylor Hess.
Well, and that's the fun part about pitch coach in her second season, Heather Gelbard, in her second season as the offensive coach.
Banks on the ground. Slow grounder, and it gets through. So an error by the second baseman, Van Brandt, and the crowd erupts. Banks aboard for the 3rd time today.
In the rankings.
Polar sends this one. Oh, and another error by Van Brandt. 2 in a row. And that one was pretty routine. So a huge opportunity here. Bailey on the ground. 1 and an error. That one thrown against the cages.
Want to make it.
So Indiana with a huge break. Allie Van Brandt side to herself. Bailey goes down swinging. Purdue leaves one stranded. We go to the 6th.
Half of the bracket with Oregon being right now, if the tournament started today, being the 1 seed. There's no easy out when you get to those 1, 2, 3, 4 teams.
Wilkeson pops this one up. Scarmardo goes across the infield to make the catch. Strader punches this one into center field. Ramos is under it. So a quick 2 outs for the Boilermakers, relying on their defense once again. Down the middle, all red to the right. And a great catch by Scarmardo. Went to her knees to make the catch. 1, 2, 3. Indiana's been held scoreless through 6. And goes down looking. Strike 3. Strikeout number 4 on the day for Hess. And she'll go to first. Leadoff walk by Taylor Hess, and a great at-bat there by Maura Condon. A lot of Reef on the ground. And no play. There was nobody at first. And another mistake by Allie Van Brandt, who has really struggled now the past 2 innings. Frank's doing a good job of staying disciplined. Frank right at the pitcher, Hess, and she makes the grab. What a catch.
That was an incredible catch by ball earlier in the game and kind of got up and a little bit slow, so we'll see what she does here.
Pokes this one into right field, and it's caught by Kettleman. To end the inning, once again, Purdue strands 2 base runners. They lead by 2. This Hoosier roster, and a very nice season has go along with that. Burko sends this one right into the glove of Campbell. She just got under that one a little bit. A lot of backspin on that ball, and Campbell had more than enough time to get underneath it. Back up to the plate. She's 1 for 3 on the day. Copeland, first pitch swinging, and oh! An unbelievable catch! As 2 Boilermakers go down, that's Polar and Ramos, and they are hurt. I believe that ball was caught.
Ball was caught, but right now the concern is the left fielder, Mariah Poehler, over there, as she took a shot to the head, and it appears as if she is knocked out on head and neck injury. Yep. You know, movement is the best thing and the best outcome that you can see from that.
Really kind of a unfortunate situation. Rare to see out of the crowd. But very, very happy that Poehler is on her feet and pop up. Stays in play. Reef gets under it. Out, number 3. The Boilermakers come on top, 2-0. They set up the rubber match later today. And what a game from start to finish for the Boilermakers. A defensive clinic to hold the 5th highest scoring team in the country to 0 runs and 5 hits. Julia Gossett, another complete game, and she was more than dominant.
Yeah, Julia Gossett was advertised coast to coast, able to go complete game. Not what we're used to seeing from Gossett in regards to the high number, double-digit strikeouts, but Gossett allowing her defense to stand tall behind her, and they did just that here today. And as you said, partner,